Hello, love bugs, and thanks for stopping by the channel. This is Danielle, the Tax Craft Lady. I hope everyone's having a great start of their day, and their plans for their day is just to relax. I know we're supposed to do cooking and craft today, but I really need to address a few questions that I keep getting answered in reference to taxes. I also want to mention a few things about credit. So, before I get started, I'd like to ask you guys to hit that like button. Go ahead and make a comment, share, please subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the good stuff the Tax Craft Ladies bringing to the table. Okay, so people have started getting their tax refunds, and some of you are not getting what you expected or what was put on your tax return. So if you had an offset from the IRS, you have to contact the IRS to find out why it was offset. Okay. Also, just say you call the offset line, it doesn't say they offset it in any way, but you see there's been an adjustment. You need to contact the IRS. Like, you really need to physically speak to them, because it could just be, especially for self-employed or freelance work, because there's more proof that you may have to show the IRS. Excuse me. So that they know that it is what you say it is. So don't immediately call your tax preparer like, "What did you do? I didn't get this back. You said I would get that." Um, if you get a message from the IRS, or if you go on Where's My Refund, and it said, "Hey, we've offset your tax return, your tax refund from 7,000 to 5,000, and we'll send you a letter." They really will send you a letter, but you could get on the phone and start calling to speak to someone to see why it was adjusted. A lot of times, for people who do freelance work or any type of self-employed or your side hustle or whatever it may be, excuse me, the IRS just wants a little more proof. So, and it actually has happened to me about 7 years ago. When I first started doing this, they wanted to know, like, my walk-in clients. I had to end up sending them back invoices from that I had given to the clients and things like that, and my client list, and they adjusted my tax refund. And it took a few weeks from when they first notified me, but it was all cleared up. So just know that most of the things done with the IRS can be cleared up. They just may take some time. So just say you've got an adjustment letter, or you see an adjustment. You would contact your tax preparer, let them know if they haven't contacted you, and let you know, and the IRS, because in general, most of the time, they just want more proof of certain things. And then they get the proof, they send you the rest of your money, or not if you didn't qualify for it. And then you move forward. It isn't the end of the world, and I know here in Florida how things are going, like since the hurricane and things like that. So we need our money, but just know things can be fixed. That's not just going to be the end. Also, people ask me about deductions. And why couldn't I claim my dry cleaning and this or that? Well, just know that when you file your tax return, depending on your household makeup, your the IRS has standard deductions. And just say you're uh, a single mom and you have 2 or 3 kids, and you say, well, why can't I use these certain expenses? Well, if your expenses are not over the standard deduction, which is probably like $18,000, those expenses aren't going to change anything, because the IRS is saying we're already giving you a credit, for all these miscellaneous things. Um, so, it's different when you're dealing with a lot of things, like, just say, I have a lot of landscapers, they buy equipment that was, tens of thousands of dollars. So those things are different. But don't just think, oh, I can put in um, my dry cleaning and my car maintenance, and it's going to make my tax refund go up so high. No, it's not, but it, like certain things will add to the credit that you're going to get, but it's not going to add to the refund of cash that you're going to get back, if you can understand that. So, um, there's mostly every question that I've been posed, I can answer. If not, I'm working on getting the answer. Also, people have asked about dependents. I'm calling them, and they are non-standard dependents, which means it's not your child. You didn't birth the child, or you're not the mom and dad of the child in that sense. If you're taking care of a family member's child or a foster child or things like that, these are non-standard dependents. So the IRS wants to see proof of why you're claiming this child. So we may need a notarized letter from the parent or parents, maybe a letter from the state if they're a foster child, or if they're an adult dependent, maybe a disability letter, or showing that you're a representative payee or things like that. But they sometimes the IRS pulls it, and they do them randomly also, and wants to see more proof. So don't automatically think of anything that the IRS pulls back. It's not your tax preparer's fault 9 times out of 10. The IRS just wants more proof. So keep that in mind. It's not just like, oh no, you said I can claim my niece that I take care of, but the IRS is not letting me. No, the IRS is usually saying, hey, why are you claiming your niece? Not just because you have her information. Did you take care of this child for more than 6 months out of the year? Were you the sole provider? Are you and the parent trying to, does there need to be some tiebreaker rules or things like that? So keep those things in mind, guys. And it's not, I'm going to repeat it, it's not my fault. The questions that I get asked, and I don't mind answering any questions at all, but just know that we're working on an answer. Okay? And there's so many things that kind of dishearten me also. A lot of people repeatedly go to unscrupulous tax preparers, and then they call me when the crap hits the fan. Let's avoid all that. You can come to me first. I mean, it's okay that that's your cousin. That's my baby daddy's sister, and she do taxes and this and that. These so many things that I've heard, or people have even said, excuse me, they're doing it because it's a family member. They'll go through them to do their taxes. Hey, that's not a good idea. You want to go to a company or a person that you know is reputable. And even in, let's say, these big franchises, just know that people are people. Everyone's an individual. They had this woman from Jackson Hewitt. She stole 70 people's information and was selling it off. These things can be done anywhere. So sit down and talk to the tax preparer before you move forward. Look at a review. Try to ask for references even, because that's how you're kind of going to get to know and what's going to be your recourse if something does go wrong. Okay, so keep those things in mind when getting a tax preparer. Because when you call, people call me and say, oh, these people messed up my taxes. And I just feel like, why didn't you come to me first to do your taxes? It's very disheartening. Not only that, people don't understand there's a fee for everything. I don't have an open call center that I can just answer everybody's questions and take up hours and hours of my day, which I should be getting paid for. So just know I have free consultations, or I have sit-down consultations where we try to troubleshoot your problem and get it fixed and get an answer. There's a fee for that. I also wanted to touch on some credit things, because a lot of people, what you should be doing, it's a new year. You want to start getting your credit right. you want to start, I just spoke to a guy yesterday. He said, I'm trying to leave a mark for my children, try to start building some generational wealth. He was going to try to purchase some land and things like that. So you should keep those things in mind. But know this, no one can fix your credit in a month. That's not going to happen. It takes several months. It could take a year. It's not, they have these things like Experian Boost and things like that. Those things do not stand. That's an immediate boost, which, if you're going to do something right now, it might help you get in the door, but that's not a long boost, because then you have to sign on to these other programs and all these other things, which take more money out of your pocket to try to fix your credit. I do offer credit repair services. And depending on the package that you get with me, a lot of times I run specials also, but just know that when we start working on your credit, first thing with pulling your credit and looking over each thing that's on it, each correspondence that we do to the credit agencies, excuse me, or the whoever's put you, whether it's a department store or a credit card or your bank or whoever has put things on your credit, there is a correspondence process. So the first process, it may give the window of 35 to 40 days. And then the creditor responding back to us, that's another 30 to 45 days. And then picking that apart and then going back, it's another 30 to 45 days. And sometimes the creditors don't respond just to waste time. So then we got to tack on another 35 days because we got to send demand letters and things like that. Okay, so if we're thinking back and forth, this is 6 months in and we really haven't gotten a punch on this credit until our next round, which is then we're 7 months in or whatever it may be. So just know that fixing your credit takes time. And it's not just, we're not about to take your credit report and just wipe everything out. No, there are steps that you have to take responsibility for. Whether it's paying down certain credit cards or bills, whether it's, us negotiating with the creditors on a settlement amount for you to pay. You're not just going to walk into a credit repair place and they're going to say, okay, we're going to wipe all this out and all you got to pay is just $200 or whatever it may be. And I've seen a woman out here in Lee County charging $1,200 to fix people's credit and hasn't done anything. So, also, whatever company that you're working with, it would be good to be able to sign on to the credit repair or to, you want to see what stage you're at. So you got to ask questions about that also, guys. So, next week, probably, or during the week, I'm going to make the video for the cooking and crafts. So that'll be loaded. I've had a few YouTubers, they're telling me, hey, you got to stay consistent. You got to stay this and that. And my life is so full with tax preparation and my health and things like that. I also am going to give you guys an update this week on my health and what we're doing with our exercises. We're doing right now 30 pounds, 30 days. So we're only a few days in, but it's going great. I'll give you guys an update on that. In the meantime, don't forget to hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, tell your friends. We're going to be adding some lifestyle part of this blog very soon. We've just been looking back at so many funny clips and things that we had that we got to show you guys what we've been doing. So this is Danielle, the Tax Craft Lady. Hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.